Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on Ptcgo. For this match I'm going to be playing Trevenant as Accelgor. I'm going to be starting off. It looks like I will get to go first. I'll start off with a Phantump in the active and a Phantump on the bench. And my opponent reveals a Lugia. This is likely a Team Plasma of some sort. I'm going to red card right off the bat. It's a nice addition to this deck that really slows your opponent down. Then I'm going to Juniper my hand away. Unfortunately, I did get rid of two Trevenants there, so that isn't what I wanted to see. I will put down a Shelmet here, and I'm sort of debating what to do. Can actually make a fairly decent play here. I'm going to Ultra Ball away a Duskull and a Floatstone. Then I'm going to get a Mew here. Attach that DCE I just got once I place it on the bench. And then I'll just be able to Super Rod those Trevenants that I had to discard back into my deck, sorry. And then I'll just end my turn. So now going into my opponent's turn, he really needs to set up really quickly. If he can, he might be able to overwhelm me. He's going to play a Hypnotoxic Laser here. I unfortunately do fall asleep. And he puts down a Veerbank City Gem and places a Terrakion on the bench. And then he's going to Skyla here for a Bicycle. I'm not sure why he went for a Bicycle, but okay. Then he's going to play a Team Plasma Ball and go for a Thundurus, or Tornadus, sorry. Tornadus. He attaches a Plasma Energy onto it. I'm going to get a Trevenant, and then I just pass. Can't really do anything yet, since I don't have a Accelgor out. My opponent here can start to power up Lugia. He attaches a Lightning Energy, but he cannot use Colress Machine. Since I do block all items, he's going to go for a Shadow Triad, get back a Hypnotoxic Laser, which he cannot use. I'm going to attach my Floatstone onto Trevenant, then Juniper my hand away. Here I get an Ultra Ball, and I make a huge mistake. So instead of going for the obvious play and getting a Accelgor, I actually go and get another Mew. So this isn't, I don't know, a game ender, but I should have really gone for a Accelgor so I could have used deck and cover, and I still think I can. I don't realize I haven't evolved. I promote Mew, but I can't deck and cover, so I'm just going to have to end my turn. But I don't think it's a fatal flaw here. I do think my opponent would need quite a bit to be able to knock me out. So at the very least, he can retreat and potentially attack. And he plays a Hypnotoxic Laser, but he cannot attack with Lugia, judging by his small hand size, and he just ends up passing. I'm going to play a Colress. I finally get a Accelgor out. Evolve into another Trevenant, and now I'm going to deck and cover. Hitting him for 50, and paralyzing, and poisoning. And because of his own Veerbank, he's actually going to take 30 damage in between turns. I don't play Veerbank myself. So now my opponent's going to attach a second energy onto Tornadus. And I'm going to here Ultra Ball away a Trevenant and an N, bringing out another Mew, this time appropriately. So I can use this Colress for 7. And here I get another Mew. I will play an Enhanced Hammer, moving one of those special energies on his side of the field. I retreat into Mew. And here I can deck and cover once more, adding more damage onto Lugia. Sending Mew back into the deck, Trevenant into the active, and in between turns, Lugia succumbs to poison, and I get my first 2 prizes. And fortunately, one of those was a hammer, so I can actually get rid of his only energy on his side of the field. He uses Windfall for a fresh hand of 6, I think. I'm going to Level Ball here, getting a Duskull, since that might come in handy if I can get Duskull out. I'm going to here, I'm debating whether or not to Dowsing Machine, since I'm going to Juniper my hand away. And I figure I will. This is kind of a cruel move, but I'm going to Dowsing Machine for the red card. Seeing how my opponent just drew cards, we'll bring him back down to 4. Hopefully limiting his options even further. I will hammer away his energy and then Juniper my hand away. Managing to hit a DCE in the process. I will retreat into Mew and then once again just deck and cover and continuing this lock. So if my opponent plays Keldeo, he may be able to get out of this, but judging by his Pokemon lineup, I don't see why he would. He benches a Deoxys, and I haven't seen any Kyurem. So he's going to Juniper his hand away, getting rid of a Bicycle, a Tool Scrapper, it looks like, and something else. As I was saying, I usually run Keldeo in my Team Plasma deck, but I know the format has slowly moved away from Kyurem altogether, so Keldeo I guess makes less sense. And this Terrakion tech that he's got, that's something new I haven't really seen. He's going to play a Energy on Terrakion. I get a DCE, put it on Mew. I will Rare Candy into Dusknoir here, and then I can start Sinister Hand. I start using Sinister Hand, and this is slow and painful for many reasons. The new layout actually makes it harder to click for whatever reason when I use a non-mouse input here on my laptop, so it actually makes it super clunky. I'm going to Sinister Hand on to Terrakion, since that's what it seems like he is powering up, and it also just provides a reservoir for damage for the time being. Ideally I will knock out one of his EXs on the bench and his active at the same time, or close to it, so I can take the win since I'm only 4 prizes away from doing so. So the danger with Trevenant here and in the current format, as I Juniper my hand away, is that it can more easily be knocked out. It's easier to set up, but since it has 110 HP, it can be knocked out. So I Juniper the hand away. I will deck and cover for 50, continuing the lock, and I will promote Trevenant into the active spot. And I did manage to hit 3 DCEs off of that Juniper, so that's really nice. And I have 2 things that can deck and cover currently, my Accelgor and my Mew. And as I was saying, I've been playing matches, and Keldeo is really dangerous because it can one-shot it if it has 3 water energy on it, and it can really mow through your side of the field. So now I'm going to once again Sinister Hand off damage from his active. This time I'm actually aiming at Thundurus, since I see the win that way being the easiest. Just knock out 2 EXs. No reason to screw with Terrakion. And I'm also not here a fan of the new damage layout. Makes it harder to read exactly how much HP they have left. And for whatever reason, all these pop-ups come up every time you scroll over. I should turn them off, but doing so really messes up the resolution and the proportions here when I record it. And as you can see, it's chopped up at the top. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of this new layout, and I've tried adjusting it to no avail. It's just going to look less than satisfactory. So here I'm still moving damage around. I'm probably doing it inefficiently, just because to me the interface is so cumbersome and frustrating that I just decide to roughly move enough where I can keep the active alive in between turns and just spread the damage around enough. So now I'm going to retreat into Mew, once again deck and cover, continuing the lock. My opponent here has been stuck. He hasn't been able to do absolutely anything. He's played a Bianca his last turn, but other than that, I know Team Plasma decks run a lot of tools, and not having access to them is quite detrimental. I don't know if this deck that I'm playing will be super viable, especially with Genesect Virizion still out in the format, because Virizion's ability to prevent status changes So we'll see. My opponent here is going to Skyla for a Hypnotoxic Laser. And with that, he just ends his turn. Now I'm going to attach to Accelgor. I don't have any Mews left, but I don't really need them. At least I don't have any on the bench. Here I can actually just take the win. If I start moving damage off of the active Tornadus EX onto Thundurus EX, I can move enough damage to knock out the Thundurus and then leave Tornadus with enough where a deck and cover and poison damage will be enough for the knockout. And that's sort of the play I'm going through here. So in regards to this deck, when I played Accelgor, I actually played it with more Pokemon. I took out Muna and Musharna just because when I did try playing it on Ptcgo, it was very glitchy. Specifically, the abilities on those guys, Muna and Musharna, weren't working quite well. So here I knock out his Thundurus, send up Accelgor, deck and cover, and in between turns he's going to fall, and I take all 4 prizes in one turn, and the win. So thank you guys for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be hopefully uploading more matches soon. And my opponent here is just waiting to send up his last attacker for the game to be officially over. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This video roughly marks about a year of doing this, so I appreciate all you guys who have subbed.